Ah, yes. New microphone. Who's this? Welcome back to some more Umineko when they cry. Um, I'm using the new mic audio. I want to see if this one is any better than the one from a few weeks ago. Um, I haven't picked up on this episode in a few weeks. I haven't picked up, from what I recall. So I do like other uploads for my YouTube channel in which like I did kind of take a break from it. I do want to go back to re-uploading more music. I think I had a couple of my music tracks that I re-uploaded to YouTube to where it got copyright claimed, which it didn't really matter. So it's like, oh well, what can you do? From the recap, what do I remember? Oh yes, there was some shonen battle bullshit again. Except this one was actually really funny because Battler was trying to reenact the situation of how Kinzo escaped the study room at the third floor, and Battler, being the Giga Chad, is like, "Well, yeah, well, get the fuck out of my way. I will show you how to do it." And then I guess the only way to do it in the closed room is that whoever can bullshit out the narrative the most. In this case, I mean, Beata was escaped the room. I mean, Erica tried to catch her, but it didn't work. See, here's the thing about Erica, from what I recall. I'm not really I don't really remember the character the most. I mean, I'm assuming she might get better, but she can verbally attack the witches, but she can't like physically combat them. So, yeah, that's how it works. There was a my IRL friend gave me a couple of shit posts that involved Erica, so expect me to do some shit post video at most. Also, my RO he teased me saying that, oh, I'm going to take another year or two to finish it. Oh, I don't know. From what I recall, I'm on. Yeah, I feel like I'm halfway done, but yeah. Yeah. Before I continue reading, I will say this: I was told that the Game Piece Battler and Game Piece Beatorici is like they're separate from like the Golden Land version, which is in which this is supposed to be the real battler to deal with, which he's really dumb, and Beato is just nothing more than a vegetable. But I think my theory is actually really stupid too, because I thought, if Game Piece Battler can save the Game Piece Beatrice, then if she remains alive throughout the entire thing, the fifth game, then that means, maybe the Golden Land version of Beato can just undo her, you know, brain damage. The sort. Anyway, let's continue. Bathed in the sneers of Castle, a being who was like a mother to her. Oh, right, because Castle roasted her, even though she created her. Erica was so ashamed that it looked as though she'd chew her lower lip to pieces.
この恨みは必ず後ろ宮バトラベアトリーチェ後ろ宮夏日
Anytime like Badler breathes, or like the moment like, see, this is the thing. Like, man, as much as I want to slander and roast her, I kind of feel bad because it's like anytime you try to oppose to her opinion, it's like, well, I mean, what can you do? You gotta cope, I guess.
この謎は俺たちの謎だ。誰にも邪魔はさせねえぜ、ベアトリチェ。
Oh, the chapter just ends just like that. Yeah, that's what happens when I haven't picked up this part in a while. Yes, time moved forward. It is 11 a.m. Sunday, October 5th, 1986. Reasoning and inspection. In the Golden Land, the quiet rain just kept on falling. Yeah, I'm using this new headset to where like it has a retractable mic, so I don't know whether I can keep it like far away like this, or I just keep it like really close because I don't know. You know, part of me wants to. Maybe I should have a tiny little pop filter to the mic because I feel like at this point what if I breathe on it? You know, just kept on falling. In the arbor sat the sad witch whose eyes had lost their glint, and Battler. Virgilia could also be seen there. She sat next to Beato, knitting quietly. Knitting. You know, just like the little, you know, judging from Virgilia, she is kind of like the auntie, minus her creepy look. Knitting quietly. Lambda Delta's game had passed the climax at the first twilight, and they were taking a short break. You know, that's what I kind of figured too. If it was separate, maybe Lambda Delta doesn't really like how Battler being really idiotic. So or was it Burn Castle? Well, either of them made a game piece of Battler where he's kind of like Giga Chad smart, and they were taking a short break. Gazing out at the golden rose garden soaked with rain, Battler considered the present, what was to come, and what had happened so far. To Battler, the act of thinking was itself a battle. Even with the game stopped and Beato unable to speak, he could still keep on fighting. Virgilia suddenly stopped her knitting. Battler noticed it too, because though none should have been able to visit this rose garden, she had noticed the silhouette approaching.
珍しい。ここへたどり着ける者がいるとは。
Ah, boy, let me guess. Is it Burn Castle or Lambda Delta gonna come and troll Battler?
あいつは
It's her. Oh, it's Dlanor. Oh boy, I know how this will go. Is Dlanor gonna come and you know? I'm curious. That silhouette, which walked amidst the quietly falling rain without so much as an umbrella, was Dlanor.
素晴らしい迷路庭園です。バラを楽しむにはとても良い趣向です。
お前どうしてここに
Battler is like, oh great. Did Burn Castle send you here or Lambda Delta to bully me? I think that's what I assume from this phase.
お久しぶりです、ミセス・ベアトリーチェ。はいえ、今はミセス・ワルギリアでしたか。
久しぶりですね、ドラノール。
Dlanor.
さあ、こちらへ。客人を雨に濡らすもてなしなど、私たちは心得ませんよ。
Yeah, I kind of have my suspicions.
大丈夫。彼女は戦いに来たわけではありませんよ。
I mean, who the fuck wants to go out and fight in the Golden Land? I mean, if anything, the Golden Land should have the barrier rule in, like, hey, no infighting allowed.
知り合いなのか
天界の古い友人の一人です。ずいぶん懐かしいですね。
Yes, the retrospective.
懐かしいです。 ミセス・ワルギリアは天界学問にも造形が深くおられる。
The deep knowledge in heavenly studies.
よく解釈をめぐって議論を戦わせたものです。
あなたとの数々の知的冒険は楽しかったですよ。またいつかご一緒したいものですね。
ええ、またいつかご一緒に必ず。あなたとはぜひまた戦いたいです。
They used the word quote-unquote fight, but it didn't sound like they meant anything unpleasant by it. It sounded like something old chess rivals would say to each other. Unlike Beato, it seems Vergilia always behaved properly and courteously, so she had many friends in various other worlds, including both heaven and the demon world. Surprisingly, Dlanor was one of them. Dlanor, who had crossed swords with quote-unquote me just a short while ago, ducked her head like someone taking shelter from the sudden rain and sat in the seat Vergilia pointed out like a guest.
紅茶に希望はありますか？
何でも。あなたの入れた紅茶ならどれでも絶品です。
Yeah, good to know.
ではダージリンを。バトラ君もベアトもおかわりはいりますか？
That's the funny thing. Like, I'll try like any tea, but I know very few friends of mine are tend to be pretty picky with what tea they prefer.
ああ、
Like right now, I'm drinking coffee because I'm more of a coffee person whenever I get up from my sleep. But it's like, if I'm gonna have tea from someone, it's like I'm not necessarily a picky person. So, but you know, you can argue that in the comments to see which whether you're a tea or a coffee person. Food takes. I'm gonna be pretty much be called an idiot for that.
俺もベアトももらうぜ。な。
As usual, Beato didn't answer, but if he quietly gave her a cup, she would sip it from time to time. There was still some black tea left in that cup, but it had already chilled. So Badler asked for a refill for Beato as well.
お噂には聞いておりました。残虐で知られた無限の魔女ベアトリーチェもこうなっては寂しいものです。
こいつはもうゲームには参加してねえよ。
Yeah?
ゲーム版のこいつを操ってるのはラムダデルタだ。
存じております。ですが本来のこの世界の主です。そしてあなたはその主に招かれた正当な客人です。ですからこうしてご挨拶に参じました。
On the game board, Beato and I met Dlanor, but those were the game pieces of those witches. They weren't Beato and me ourselves.
だからわざわざここまでバトラ君とベアトに挨拶に来てくれたのですか？相変わらず律儀な子ですね。
私の流儀です。はじめまして、ミスター・バトラー。
Mista.
ドラノール・エノックスと申します。敵対する役ではありますが、よろしくお願いいたします。
We play opposing rules, but it is a pleasure to meet you. Okay, so maybe my theory was actually retarded to begin with. God damn it. I thought there was some sort of a saving grace to this, but apparently like this is the quote unquote first time Dlanor meets Battler. This is because this is the Golden Land verse and not the fucking something that correlates to the game itself.
おう、後ろ宮バトラーだ。よろしく頼むぜ。
はじめまして、ミス・ベアトリーチェ。ドラノール・エーノックスと申します。
No worries. She's like, sorry, but I can't. I'm not in the virtual mood to talk to you, type of thing.
ベアト、お前に挨拶してるぜ。歓迎するとさ。
ありがとうございます、ミス・ベアトリーチェ。
The witch and the inquisitor of heresy, whose job it was to hunt witches, greeted each other around a tea table, surrounded by the aroma of black tea. It was a strange sight. You know, that's kind of weird too, because, you know, considering how Dlanor is the oppressor against the witches and all that sort, it's kind of weird that she came here regardless of her opposition. But, you know, hey, you know, gotta have some maintained level of diplomacy, right? Virgilia made gold butterflies sprout from the palms of her hands and transformed them into a teapot and a can of tea leaves. It was a very witch-like way to make tea. Of course, she actually was a witch, so that scene wasn't particularly bizarre in itself. Though I was a bit concerned about whether Dlanor, an inquisitor of heresy, could watch such a spectacle.
ご安心を。私は振る舞われる紅茶の立て方に口を挟むほど不粋ではありません。
Well, no, because sometimes in the game version you were like that, but you know, I guess you know from how you look. Sure, I guess. Like, imagine if I cook my food and then people will see me how I perform, which is nothing more than fucking witchcraft. Would people complain about it? Then, you know, it would be kind of fucking bizarre, right? Rather than like it's not made by love, right? Fucking hell.
魔法で紅茶を入れているのにか。
物陰に紅茶の道具があり、私たちに隠れてミセス・バルキリアが紅茶を入れている。それを魔法で入れたと私たちが解釈判断し物語に記した。ノックス第9条でも認められる解釈です。
おやおや、9条の解釈は大法院でもタブー視されるほどのデリケートな問題のはず。私的発言とはいえ、首席異端審問官の発言と知られれば首が飛ぶかもしれませんよ。
私がどのような解釈を記そうともミセスの紅茶の味を何ら偽ることにはなりません。ですから私はその立て方を気にすることはないのです。
ほう。
Aha. Though she looked cold, she was a surprisingly tactful person. If Dlanor were to deny that the black tea had been prepared with magic, this magic would surely be crushed in an instant. However, the possibility had been presented that a tea set existed and had been used to make the tea normally, so the fact that Virgilia had made tea was, in the end, undisputed.
結果を闇に閉ざす魔法は邪悪です。私たちは許さない。しかし家庭を包む魔法は邪悪とは限りません。 私の敵は邪悪であって魔法そのものではないのです。
Your foe is the evil in self and not magic. Okay.
なるほどな。
I don't know. I feel like human beings tend to judge magic a bit too easily nowadays.
紅茶のもてなしが出てくることが重要なんであって、その立て方についてどうこう突っ込まないのが客の礼儀ってわけか。
That's right. When someone makes tea for you, it's common courtesy to be grateful. There's nothing elegant about pushing your way into the kitchen and criticizing how they brew it. Yeah, it's just fucking...
台所は客人を招く場所ではありません。
Yeah, it's fucking tea. It's a fucking luxurious drink. No shit that you have to be fucking, be appreciative about it. What the fuck? Like, if I was invited to my friend's house and all I get served is nothing but fucking, I don't know, like soup or some shit or fucking instant noodles, would I complain? Not really. I mean, food is food. Like, give me a break. You don't invite your guests into the kitchen. I mean, unless you're a picky eater.
そしてそこよりの配膳はもてなしの心で美しく飾られるべきです。どうぞ、暑いですよ。
ありがとうです。砂糖とミルクも欲しいです。
まだストレートでは飲めませんか？
子供なので甘くないとダメです。
魔法ってのは優しい嘘なのか。
Is magic a gentle lie? That's a good question.
嘘というと聞こえが悪いですね。日本語で表現する場合は修飾と呼んだ方がよりふさわしいでしょう。
Word embellishment.
子供に飴を与えるとき、ポケットの中でぐしゃぐしゃになったのを出して与えるのと、素敵な手品を見せてそこから飴を出して与えたのでは、与える感情が全く違うはずです。
そりゃ手品でポンと飴を出された方がこじゃれてていいよな。
違います。飴を与えるという結果に対し、より美しく楽しい就職を与えたことに意味があるのです。
マリアちゃんに飴をあげるとき、ポケットから出して与えるのと、普段から良い子にしていたから妖精さんが持ってきてくれたと言って、こっそりポケットに忍ばせるのは全く違うという意味ですよ。
Well, you can also make the similar difference of an argument during, like, I don't know, when someone gives you a gift for Christmas or some shit.
それを全員のアリバイを調べて、誰がポケットに忍ばせたのか調べ上げて特定するのは、私は無粋なことと思っています。飴を受け取り少女が喜んだという結果こそが重要です。
Yeah, you only care about the good end result.
そして少女を喜ばせるために就職されたことが意味あることなのです。
意外だな。 魔法と名がつけば全否定みたいな感じで登場しやがったのに。
異端審問官としてはそう振る舞います。
Well, yeah, because that's part of your role.
職務ですので。ですが職務を離れている時はそこまで冷酷になりたくありません。
勤務中は市場は持ち込まないってわけか。うん、できるやつだな。
異端審問官として魔女を狩るのは仕事です。しかし一個人としては魔女を憐れんでいます。
Pitiable.
しかし異端審問官としては無慈悲に断罪します。結果において私が魔女たちを処刑するのに変わりはない。私の憐れみなど所詮は無駄な就職に過ぎません。あってもなくても何も変わらない。ならなくてもいい。
I don't know. This is the thing about Dlanor, right? I feel like a lot of the time she comes off as like one of her scary notions to where she does perform her job pretty seriously, but at the same time it's like whenever like she's off her job, it looks like you can have like a pretty normal like milquetoast conversation about like, you know, I don't know, something that isn't involved with witches, or I don't fucking know. I don't know. Dlanor seems pretty interesting, you know.
そんなことはありませんよ。結果が同じでも心が違えば大きく意味が異なることもあります。
You can only make your prior judgments with the usage of your heart.
あなたの母が焼いたクッキーは優れたパティシエが作るクッキーよりきっと美味しかったはず。それは心が込められていることを知っているからですよ。
You know, if only people are like that way.
そうだな。結果が同じに見えても真心ってやつがあるかないかで意味は全然変わるかもしれねえぞ。
そうでしょうか。私の心などあってもなくても何の意味もない。
I mean, I'm pretty sure not all human beings are born to be brutes, or so. Well, whether they're like that or not is just based on what their lifestyle has been going through. I mean, depends. Like whether they're completely lost within their own mentality is based on their life decisions, you know, and people and anyone can make unfair judgments behind the screen. I mean, even I make unfair judgments. We all do, you know. The world's a harsh reality, like I said, again and again. Dalinor's gaze fell to her cup a little sadly.
なことはね。今の話を聞いて、俺はお前の見方を少し変えたぜ。
You think so?
だから、心が無意味なんてことは絶対にねえ。
Vergilia was a little surprised to hear the words she should have said coming from Battler's mouth. After all, understanding the heart is the first step towards finding the essence of magic. By now, perhaps Battler has unconsciously started to understand bit by bit the essence of Beato, the essence of witches, and the very first essence of all, magic. Whether you want to become a witch or vanquish them, the very first step is learning about magic itself. Virgilia was sure that she'd felt this faint change within Badler.
先ほどの戦いではありがとうございました。最後の最後に慈悲を与えてくれたこと感謝いたします。
俺は俺じゃねえぜ。ラムダデルタが操ってたんだ。
Yeah, I figured. Yeah, okay, so my theory was actually turned out to be dumb. I joined in on the 5th game partway through. I still haven't participated at this point in time. So until I do join in, the piece me is probably being controlled by Burned Castle or Lambda Delta.
あいつらどういう気まぐれだろうな。妙にかっこよくしてくれやがった。あれじゃまるで俺がベアトを助けに来たナイト様みてえじゃないか。
They all just sneaking, they're just all snickering behind the scenes. They'll be like, well, Battler's just too much of a fucking coward. What if we make him a Giga Chad? And there's that.
ラムダデルタ教は魔女と人間のそれぞれが均衡しドローゲームとなることを望んでいます。
That's the thing, right? So if Lambda Delta wanted both witches and human side to be in balance with each other, well, that means there would be the lack of inequality. Although I don't know about Burncastle though. So I think Burncastle has more of like a strong opposition to where they want to make it imbalanced in a way.
エリカの登場により天秤が人間側に大きく傾いたのでベアトに加担するように物語を操ったのでしょう。
それは知っています。しかし駒はできないことはできない。そして本来の性格にふさわしい行為を得意とする。だからあれは確かにあなたのバトラの成し得たことです。だからあなたに感謝するのです。
何もしてねえのに褒められるってのは妙な気分だな。ゲームがもう少し進めば俺の駒も俺が操るようになるだろうよ。その時にも優しく手加減するかはわからねえぜ。
But I don't know. Here's the thing, though: if the Golden Land, if the battler in the Golden Land regains the control of the game piece, will he become the Giga Chad like what he did with for saving Beato, though? That's the thing. I do tend to question, though. I guess Battler is kind of learning a bit more and more, like as of now.
私も同じです。次に太刀を交えるときは遅れは取りません。
上等だ。相手してやるぜ。全力で来い。
約束します。全力です。
Dlanor, huh? I thought she was an emotionless killer doll without a heart, but maybe she actually is pretty approachable. Though, of course, neither of us will show any mercy when fighting on the game board. I don't know. I feel like judging from Dlanor, she seems to be like a hardcore gamer on the inside, but more laid back on the outside, you know? Outside the game board, you know? For a while, we gazed at the rain-drenched rose garden as we quietly enjoyed our tea. Interesting conversation.
一つ謝らねばなりません。
With a sudden sigh, Dlanor muttered something.
何がだ。さっきの戦いのことならもうノーサイドだぜ。 お互い全力で戦ったろ。勝ち負けは時の運だぜ。
Well, what does she even want to apologize for? I mean, for her being cold-hearted or for being harsh on Beato or what?
いいえ、時の運ではありません。それに任せられなかったから私は謝罪に訪れたのです。
何の話だ。
勝ちを譲ったということですね。
Virgilia spoke softly without hesitating in her knitting.
はい。ミスター・バトラー。
ミスターはかゆいぜ。バトラでいい。
バトラー、謝罪します。私たちは全力ではありませんでした。
So what you're saying that all that fighting that you and Battler did was all nothing but just part of the script? Is that what you're trying to say? I don't know. It does look like Dlanor seems pretty powerful from the judging from her personality.
分かっていますよ。金蔵は全ゲーム開始時に死亡している。すでにベアトによって語られている真実です。あの戦いはバトラ君には引き分けに持ち込めれば上々。勝ち目は絶対にないはずの戦いでした。
そうだな。一言そう言われちまえばそれで終わっちまう戦いだった。なぜその赤を使わなかった。まさかステイルメイトだからとでも言うのか。
ノックス第2条、探偵方法に超自然能力の使用を禁ず。
It is forbidden for supernatural agency to be employed as a detective technique.
その赤き真実を私たちは直接使うことができません。
Oh.
しかし窓が降雨後に開かれたことはないという赤き真実を私は窓を守っていたコーネリアに持たせていました。
Interesting. So she couldn't use the red that was from Beato, what had already stated, but you can also give it your subordinates the red truth as well with the window thing.
ドーン。そいつでチェックメイトだ。どうしてあの姉ちゃんはその切り札を切らなかった。
これは金系。我が赤が破れる道理はなし。そなたの望み叶うことなしと知りたまえ。
Maybe Cornelia was more of in a panic. Maybe. I mean, she is the assistant after all, so it's not really surprising that she was mostly following the Dalinor's steps. Though she had fought calmly up until that point, she quickly got flustered when I dashed forwards. I thought she'd been frightened by my sudden attack, but the truth was different. Even though she held a trump card that could completely repel me, she suddenly became unable to use it and hesitated.
わかりません。突然あの瞬間に 切り札の使用が禁じられたのです。
So she had a trump card, but it's apparently forbidden of her to use it.
それを失った時点であなたの勝利は約束されました。
Was that the reason why, as a part of the Nox's rule, that you, because of the Nox's rule, Valor was guaranteed to win?
ゲームマスターラムダデルタ教の干渉でしょう。
Or you think the game master just decided like, no, I think it's imbalanced to do that. So
あいつめ。結局あの戦いは全てラムダデルタの手のひらでの茶番ってわけかよ。俺たちはあいつの筋書き通りにお芝居をやらされたってわけだ。
wait, so the whole thing was scripted in the end. That's oh god. Okay, what's the point of the fifth game to make it scripted? That's actually so lame. Like, imagine like playing a D&D. Imagine playing D&D with your friends and all of a sudden like this whole farce of the one after you rolled your fucking stats for the character you want to build, and then all of a sudden, the dungeon room was like, oh, oh, the dungeon master make this play out the entire room of the dungeon, and blah blah blah. The monster and our characters beat the shit in each other up within the farce part of the play. I'm being retarded.
不愉快とは思います。しかし全力で来いとおっしゃられたバトラにそれを打ち明けぬわけにはいきませんでした。許してください。
That comes with the problem that I had while I took a break from the fifth episode. It's like, what's the point of the Natsuki painted as a bad person then? What does that got to do with the answer? The person was supposedly be the adopted son of Natsuki. Why is it there? Even though it's like there are no part of silhouette or resemblance, other than I can only make this really, really stupid, charitable theory that it's Balor making a prank call, but Balor didn't even do it then. So
それでもあなたは切り札を失っても残されたカードで全力で戦いましたよ。あなたを非難など誰にできるでしょう。
そうだな。むしろ余計なことをしやがってとラムダデルタを怒るべきだぜ。
金像が存在しないのはすでに確定事項のはず。ラムダデルタ教もベルンカステル教もそれをよくご存知のはずです。
well, no, because Kinzo technically did exist in the fourth game, right? Okay, maybe it kind of did. Okay, maybe I could be wrong, but it looks like in the fourth game it kind of, snuck into that particular matter.
なのに2人とも金像が存在する余地を残してゲームを進めています。まるで2人で結託して金像を否定させないかのようです。
つまりじいさまをわざと逃がしたと。
はい。何かの意図があるに違いありません。
確かに少しおかしいですね。 ラムダデルタ教とベルンカステル教は魔女が優勢にならない限り対立する関係にあるはず。現在の流れでは2人が結託することは考えがたいのですが。
私には何か邪悪な目的があるように思えてなりません。それをお伝えしたくて私はここまで参りました。
お前そんなことのためにわざわざここまで来てくれたのか。
はい。ですので私はもう用事を終えました。これにて失礼しようと思います。ゲームもじきに再開するでしょう。エリカと今後のゲームを打ち合わせねばなりませんので。
Dlanor gulped down the last of her black tea and stood up.
次は第二の番の戦いにて、
The second twilight.
そこにて私は再び無慈悲の太刀を振り上げるでしょう。ですからどうかバトラも私に慈悲などかけぬように。
わかってるぜ。
Well, no, because unless in the second twilight that Balor and the Golden Land couldn't even like take control of the game piece, then you wouldn't really do it. But we'll see.
手加減なんかしたらこっちの頭が叩き割られちまうぜ。
ゲーム版での私はベルンカステル教の駒フルドエリカの手先も同然です。これからも敵として何度も立ちはだかるでしょう。しかし私の心は本来中立です。いや、忘れてください。そんなことはあなたと私の関係においては何の意味もない。
あるぜ。強敵であることは間違いないが、あんたをムカつきはしなくなった。エリカのやつは最高にムカつくがな。
I mean, Erica is kind of known to be like a sort of Ben Shapiro jokester of the sort. I mean, I've just seen the meme on the YouTube. Or like, Erica. The sort. God help me. I can't believe that Erica and Dlanor are my two favorite characters in this episode. And maybe so on and so forth.
よかった。
Like, I'm not even joking. Like, Dlanor is being known to be like the most fearsome inquisitor of heresy. That takes her job seriously, but, judging from this scene right here, she doesn't really seem as fearsome during a normal conversation.
私もフルドエリカにはムカついています。
Oh, wait, Erica also pisses you off? Interesting. I can't believe those two are on the same page here. That's actually insane. Dalinor's expression finally softened slightly. At the very last moment, it felt as though we finally understood each other.
フルドエリカはとても邪悪な存在です。先ほどの敗北で面目を潰され、復讐心に燃えたぎっています。
It's not only a desire for revenge, she also has a desire for spite.
何を企んでいるのか私にもわかりません。ですが、ろくなことのわけがない。注意してください。
Well, keep that in mind. Erica Furuto Erica is not only judging from from quote-unquote Dalinor's words, Furuto Erica, in quotes, is a very, very evil entity. But here's the thing, though. Burncastle was the one who created her. So would people argue that Burncastle would be a very evil entity? Well, that's kind of debatable, in all honesty. So I think Burn Castle is just more of like, you know, she's just, there to understand the keeping charge of all the fragments, so on and so forth. She's also a jokester too.
ベルンカステルの困った時点で気を許す気はないぜ。
Exactly. Dlanor nodded as though satisfied, left the overhang of the arbor and walked out into the rain.
あのような邪悪の手先を務めることになろうとは。どうして私はこの世界に呼ばれたのか。
I guess, yeah. That's what I kind of assumed too. I feel like, I mean, you seem to. It's like you do your job seriously, but at the same time, you just deep down you really hate doing your job. Considering that, especially you only hate that kind of. You hated doing your job because you're being a subordinate to someone that portrays as evil. So. Well, listen, I'm pretty sure there are people that are like that can relate to Dlanor, because I'm pretty sure that they hate doing their jobs too, especially when they're working with someone that is a complete asshole, Dlanor let out a small sigh. Pieces can do nothing except fulfill the function they have been given, and that function is given to them by the one who controls them. She probably can't disobey her own player, Burn Castle.
呼んだのはベルンカステル教かもしれない。しかしこの世界に受け入れたのはベアトです。この子が望まなければあなたは迷路庭園を抜けここへは至れなかったのだからね、ベアト。
I'll take that as a yes.
ミス・ベアトリーチェ、あなたは私に何を求められるのか。邪悪の手先としての私があなたの何かに応えられるならば幸いなのですが。
She spoke to Beato, but of course there was no response. All right, that was a pretty very interesting conversation we're going through, reading through as of now. I do kind of wonder though how the second Twilight will turn out. What time is it? Like right here. It's 11 a.m. I feel like in the second Twilight. I mean, there's also the part that we're in the phone where Natsuki was supposed to hide in the closet or something around that particular specific time. So I'm like, wait a minute. How will that go? What happens if she play? Because I feel like it's all part of a trick at hand, even if it's whether it's played or not. There's also the second Twilight, and there's also Erica who's still like, who's pretty a spiteful human. A human was filled with spite at best, because she's supposed to be gifted with the sort of intelligence to where like she authorizes as like the quote unquote detective of the sort, even if she's created by Burn Castle. But if anything, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if Lambda Delta is still in control of the game piece of Battler or not. But I feel like there was some interesting insight from Battler with Dlanor the Sword. But we'll see who gets killed off in the second Twilight. So, with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe, and take care. Have a good one.